Hey, this is Shark Boy. You may have seen me on TNA Wrestling. You're listening to the WNS podcast. Hell yeah.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or find us on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 120 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
If you want to follow us on Twitter, it is at WNS Podcast for the main site, WNS Source.
Also on Tout at WNS Podcast.
There you go. So welcome to the show. Got a lot to talk about as the WWE decides to head overseas, go over to the UK. First, we're going to kick things off.
Who are you?
Who are you? I don't even know.
Who are you?
Who are you? That one? Is that what you're going with? Very nice. So how you guys doing?
All right.
Welcome back, Tyler.
Thank
you had a long drive over the weekend.
To Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville. Did you meet up with any of our listeners?
No one contacted me.
Did you contact them?
Yes, I was like, yo,
Oh?
peeps in Nashville. It's like,
Who'd you contact?
Meet me over at the Tin Roof. And nobody met me at the Tin Roof.
Just 110 Roof? Or
That's what the bar is called.
Oh, the bar. Okay. Here. What if some of our listeners were like not of age to be in a bar? That'd be on you.
Then he probably shouldn't be interacting with them.
Yeah.
That's inappropriate.
I was like, hey,
Well, they can just, they can be under 21.
Meet me at the playground at McDonald's.
It was the middle of the night. There were no kids around. But all in all, good trip to Tennessee. Very nice.
Why'd you go there?
My girlfriend's sister lives up there, and I just wanted a vacation, and I haven't been up there, that area before. So.
Did you drive the whole time?
No.
Oh,
we took turns.
How long was it?
12 hours.
Shit.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Although you can drive 12 hours inside Texas, one straight line. You can drive from here to Lubbock, and it takes you 12 hours. So
It's true.
no fun.
I went to Waco once, and it was a fuck of a drive. Or ride. I was riding, rather.
Yeah. So how you doing, Doug?
I'm all right.
Hanging in there?
I'm alive.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
For now.
Well, there you go. Well, that's all we can hope for. Is as long as
He
you
may be dead
as long
later.
as you make it to next week, and then the following week after that, keep coming back. We need you here. We gotta, because I don't
like
know
the sound of that.
I don't know how that would work. Just
Two-man. I listened to a couple of two-man shows from you guys.
Yeah.
It's not that good.
I wouldn't say that.
He's saying himself that he's not that good.
Shows
Well,
how much
if-
faith
it was
I
just
have in
like-
myself.
Well, if you watch,
don't.
if you watch the show, then then you have stuff to talk about.
Motherfucker, I didn't get in until like super late. I didn't catch anything.
You got home in time.
If you call 9:30,
That's
that
time.
30 minutes I could have called, I guess.
There you go. And for those 30 minutes for Raw, you will definitely be discussing.
Sure,
Daniel-
I'll discuss all this. I'll throw my 2 cents in.
Daniel is chastising you for having a life.
No, not at all. No, I saw Daryl's Facebook. I know when y'all got home.
Keep up with her. We're almost there. We're almost there. It's like every state we get to, hey, look, I'm
Wanna
gonna take a
stay
picture of
closer.
the, yeah, like
New Orleans.
who cares?
I was about to text you and be like, "Hey, stop by the Superdome and see how far of a drive it is."
Yeah.
See if there are any nearby hotels we can start booking.
It's probably 6 hours.
Yeah,
5, 6. It's like driving to Dallas.
yeah, that's not that bad. So welcome to the show, everyone.
But
Oh,
how was your weekend?
mine was fine. I worked all weekend.
All right.
Got to spend the whole weekend at my girlfriend's house. So it was not too bad.
And she also babysit your dog.
Yes.
Or your
Dog
mom's
sat.
dog.
We were dog sitting.
dog sat.
Yeah.
A dog sat.
So welcome to the show, everyone. Got a lot to talk about. Of course, we're going to cover what happened on Raw.
All those listeners, they care all about.
Yeah, I know.
dog.
Care about your trip. Care about your dog. See how I'm just like, I'm fine. I'm good.
Yeah.
You guys just carry on. People are like, what the fuck are these
So
guys
what was your
talking
favorite thing
about?
to see in Tennessee, Tyler?
Stuff.
Although you did take a tour of the Jack Daniel's
Distillery.
whiskey distillery. Didn't try any. Didn't buy any.
Didn't
They
bring
give
me any.
samples out.
Didn't bring Doug any.
Yeah. Sorry.
He did buy me a pimp ass Lucha bottle opener, and it is really rad. And I've been eyeing them for a while, and I'm very, very happy to have it. And it's super cool. Thank you, Tyler.
Very nice. I got a guitar bottle opener.
I would have got
keychain.
you that too, but there was only one.
Oh.
There's only one.
There can be only one when it
But-
comes to
But
wrestling.
yeah.
Doug is tops.
Well, it's a beer bottle opener.
Yeah.
You don't drink much beer, do you?
No, I don't. Not any, actually.
You don't. But you got a keychain.
I do have a keychain.
And I like. Do you like keychains?
I don't collect them.
Oh, I thought you did.
Fascinating.
Not
radio.
really.
Oh.
People are
This
tuning.
is someone's
people listening
first
to this for the
episode.
first time. They're
I'm
like,
so
"What are
sorry.
these guys talking about?"
I'm so sorry.
So, well, we do have some listener feedback. We do have a review from YouTube for a first time listener. It's coming from Astro Burn. This was posted on our YouTube page from last week's episode, saying, "I have only recently started listening to wrestling podcast after hearing a few out there. I have found yours to be one of the finest out there. Quite entertaining and informative. I look forward to them every week. Keep up the great work."
All right.
So thank you,
Thank
Astro
you.
Burn. We appreciate that. We always appreciate feedback. Don't forget, if you're listening to the show, head on over to iTunes and write up a little review for
I want
us.
to say sorry for the random information this morning.
Yeah, it's not every day we get to have a vacation or get away from home for a little bit.
Yeah,
So it's nice
that's
to
true.
it's nice to talk about it, especially since we didn't get to talk about it on Monday, Anyway.
Yep.
Anything to report on there, Doug? Any iTunes reviews? I don't think we
No iTunes reviews. So
none this week.
listeners, you should fix that and leave us some.
Yeah. There we go. And how about listener feedback for this past week? I know we had some people commenting about your Lego video game dilemma.
Yeah, I appreciate all the words of what am I looking for here, guys? Help me.
Encouragement,
Yeah,
sympathy, empathy.
yeah, something like that. It was nice to hear that I'm
You were not alone in the world, Doug.
yeah, I'm not the only one with OCD, and yeah, OCD's a motherfucker, dude. Makes my life very difficult in a lot of ways.
Well, did you at least get to the police station?
Oh yeah, I'm about 20% of the game,
Oh, okay.
but I put about 20 hours into it.
Okay, so there you go. So kicking things off, like we said, Raw, WWE, the whole gang.
Well, I think we got to read Wife Swap's feedback real quick.
Okay.
Because last week I was all like, yo, you wrote a book.
Don't hate
I
on
wrote a
me.
book.
And now he was like, so he like bullet pointed this week.
He's trying to make it easy for you.
Yeah. So he agrees with us about the Brock stuff being awesome. He agrees about not wanting to see with Aber about not wanting to see Triple H and Lesnar, or Aber rather. And he disagrees with us about Cesaro dropping the strap because he thinks they're burying him because, quote, you can't push someone higher up the card to drop the title to Kofi. Sorry, but this is Kofi we're talking about.
So he kind of feels with you on as far as Kofi.
Yeah,
The love of Kofi.
Yeah, I thought that match was fine though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The rest I think is Victor and Ben of the Wrestling Nerd podcast. Kind of showing some solidarity about their obsession. I guess Victor is a fanfic writer, and he's been struggling with some of his stories. Ben also a Lego gamer and
Enthusiast.
yeah, and also finds problems with the studs and the mini whatever. Fuck, I forget what they're called.
Well, there you go. So if you are having OCD issues with any Lego game that you might be playing, fear not, you are not alone.
Well, I don't just have OCD with Lego. I have OCD
yeah.
in life. That was just an example of it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Well,
Yeah.
it'll be all right. You're not alone.
I know.
So it's a good time. Man, that shirt's fading.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah. But the memory remains. So there you go. So kicking things off, we got to see Raw over in the UK in London. start off the show with Paul Heyman, basically giving a recap of what happened the previous week, being absolutely dynamite on the microphone, as we've come to know and love. Basically saying, "Oh, Triple H sent me this email. He's not going to be here this week. He's a coward. Otherwise, he would have been here. I'm just as disappointed as all of you." And sure enough, Triple H shows up and says, "Oh, I lied to you. Ha 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 ha. That email was a lie. I tricked you." Pedigree. That's pretty much it, huh?
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, whatever.
I mean, I was fine with it for the most part, except for, I don't know, I just like pedigreeing the manager of like an unaccompanied manager doesn't really make you look like a hard ass.
He's sending a message to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I'm just not crazy about your big baby faces acting that way.
Yeah.
It just bothers me.
And but one thing I did like about it was Heyman, whenever he saw Triple H coming out, he's like, "I gotta admit, you played me. I played the game and I lost. You tricked me on this one."
He's so great at like backpedaling. Once he's like a big loudmouth asshole. Not so much. He's like a big loudmouth, like
he's a big talker,
right?
Yeah.
But he's so great about backpedaling. Once like they're like, "Oh, you have video footage," or "Oh, I lied to you." That's whatever. He's so great about like he's like, "Oh no, you're awesome," and I am. Yeah.
You surprised me. That's great. I think that's absolutely fantastic. So Paul Heyman is just being as great as ever on the microphone, which is more than a lot of people can say in the WWE right now. But the first match we got to see R-Truth going up against Antonio Cesaro. R-Truth came out and did his rap to the ring, which I don't remember seeing for quite some time. It's been a while since he did that. Yeah, so he came out.
Well, I think they're using it to play up against the yodeling.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
so he came out and rapped his way to the ring.
What's up?
And Cesaro came out and it was like,
the UK crowd was getting down. I saw some people dancing.
Yeah, they were
yodeling?
Huh?
With the yodeling?
No, with the R-Truth.
Yeah, they were definitely having a fun. This was definitely a let's have fun crowd. Some of it was a little bit distracting, but other than that, they tried to stay relevant. So I didn't have a big problem. Like there was one part where I was having issues with them, and that's whenever they were doing the wave. But that was during the Jericho match. And I was like, why are they doing that? It's taken away from it. But other than that, they were having fun and chanting and doing all that.
Yeah, I'm just of the opinion that if you are uninterested in being there in such a way that you have to entertain yourself like in a different way, then why would you even bother showing up? It's just me. I mean, maybe it's a UK thing. Maybe that's something they do at events. I don't know.
All in all, how good was the match between Truth and Cesaro?
It was fine. It was solid. I mean, it was not much of a match.
Yeah.
Truth hit his finish really sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised at the finish. I'm kind of curious as to where they're going for R-Truth. I mean, maybe they're going to try and give him another build or something. But R-Truth ends up defeating Antonio Cesaro on this one. So Cesaro hasn't looked too good the past couple of weeks. Not like saying he's putting on bad matches, but as far as the win-loss record. I covered that one before I got a Doug lashing or something.
Better get prepared.
It's like, whoa, listen here. So, so R-Truth picks up the victory. That takes us into our next match where we got to see Damian Sandow come out with Cody Rhodes going up against Brodus Clay with Tensai. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention in this matchup, mostly because I was staring at the guy dressed as Damian Sandow.
Pretty good cosplay.
Yeah, it was.
They sell the robes on the shop.
Really?
So
that's cool.
I guess he had the robe from shop, and he had the towel, and
he had the beard, and he also had a microphone. I saw.
Yeah, well, he had his hair like kind of slicked back to where it was kind of receding a little bit, like right there, like where his does. And it was a pretty good.
Props to that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So they put him on TV as well, and
I kept waiting. Do you think when he went for his elbow of disdain, and he tossed the elbow pad off in that guy's direction. That was kind of like a wink to the guy who was just as him.
I would like to think so.
Because he didn't acknowledge him like on camera. Like,
yeah.
Do you remember? I don't remember what show we're at. Where like
it was at the house show with Sheamus.
The Sheamus guy who we've seen a number of times.
Yeah.
I guess he travels around just like Sheamus. But I mean, he's like a lesser guy of We Hate Cena guy and the Brock Lesnar guy. But I've seen the Sheamus kid like at least like 3 shows.
Yeah.
And Sheamus, like, it was when Sheamus was a heel, so he kind of like
he
gave
stutter
it to him.
stepped a little bit. He's like, wait, what?
He kind of gave it to
double
him.
take.
He's like, oh, you think you're a fan of me? Oh, fuck you anyway. Like that kind of thing, you know. But like he didn't even acknowledge him, which is fine. Like he's not supposed to be playing to the crowd.
He's playing. Yeah, he's playing sort of the truest heel, where he's like, you can do whatever. I'm still.
I would say so. I would argue Cesaro probably is the truest heel.
Well, yeah, but as far as like your definition of a heel, it's like, oh, there's the bad boy or whatever, and then there's like the guy who does bad things that the crowd likes, and then there's like Cesaro and Sandow and Paul Heyman who's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that you're booing them.
I'm not sure that I feel that way about Sandow. I feel like there's too much for people to get behind with Sandow.
Yeah.
Like Cesaro is just kind of like no frills, no bullshit. Like he doesn't have an elaborate entrance. He doesn't have like, and people think, and he's really bad at yodeling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people think it's like, oh, that's lame. That's a terrible gimmick. But I just look at it as a way like, if it's gonna make people hate him, then like I can appreciate it.
And he got some boos, that being Cesaro. So.
Yeah.
Do you think he just goes out there?
I don't think it was overwhelming
and
though.
intentionally bad on that. Like
it's
maybe
hard to say.
maybe he actually can yodel, but he just chooses just to screw it up.
I don't know. I've never heard him sing or anything.
Like maybe he can actually do it, but he's just like, oh.
See, it's not that bad. It sounds like a guy who's actually trying but can't do it.
It don't sound that bad to me. I don't think, I know it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
well, it's all. I mean, I've heard. I'm not a fan of yodeling, but I've heard like real yodeling before. That's not what it sounds like. I mean, like he can't do it. Like he's just trying. Someone like Vince was like, "You need to yodel, kid." And he was like, "All right, boss, you cut the checks. I yodel." So
kind of like how they did with Brodus Clay. It was like, "Oh, I saw you dancing backstage. Well, now you're gonna go out and do it now, and that's gonna be you. You're the dancer."
Right.
Totally come
Not
up
really.
with Fandango guy.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Overshadowed by the ballroom dancer. So, yeah. So, anyway, Sandow ends up getting the victory, holding the tights after, getting the upper advantage.
What was the deal with you taking a picture and drinking tea?
Oh, Tensai.
Sweet tea.
Yeah, but why? You just randomly did it? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought something went down or something.
No.
Okay.
Tensai sweet tea.
Well,
it's a marketing ploy.
Uh-huh.
You could get the WWE millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
He should get an endorsement deal.
Yeah.
We should get an endorsement deal.
Yes. Tensai sweet tea. You heard it here first. If you see it in your stores in the next 6 months.
Well, let's work on our own endorsement deals.
Okay. Podcast powder. I don't know.
Somebody's got to want to sponsor a podcast out there.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
I don't know either.
We can get like a seasoning, so it would be like podcast spicy powder. I don't know.
How's that relevant?
I don't know. How's anything relevant to us?
I don't know. It's either got to be relevant to our show or something we really like.
Yeah.
Or else we just be fucking sellouts.
Hey, as long as I'm getting money,
I'm in it for the art, baby.
Okay. Well, all right.
I've got scruples, son.
So, anyways, Sandow ends up getting the victory, taking us into our next match, which was Dolph Ziggler going up against Chris Jericho. And the stipulation was if Chris Jericho was victorious in his matchup, he would get to enter the triple threat match at Extreme Rules, making it a fatal 4-way. I thought this was a very strong matchup. They went out and put on a good show, as they have tended to do the past few times that they've gone up against one another. But Ziggler ends up getting the victory on this one. So
good.
yeah. So it keeps it at a triple threat. And it allows Jericho to focus on Fandango because during the matchup, Fandango's music hit, much to the delight of the fans, causing him the distraction to get Ziggler the win. So
they're like trying to split too much time with Jericho. Like he's feuding with Fandango, but they're trying to use him to legitimize Ziggler.
Yeah. So
Just split them.
I'm sorry, I wasn't crazy about. I wasn't really impressed by the match. Like it feels no urgency there. I mean, I just
this is like still the same things we've been seeing with Fandango.
Well, on that one, it was just the music.
He just kind of like came out and in Jericho, like diverted his attention to him.
Yeah. So, but Ziggler ended up.
I meant like
Jericho.
the match itself.
Yeah, I thought the match was compared to the matches that we had seen up leading to that, I thought this was a pretty solid matchup.
It's just me. There's just something I just can't get behind Ziggler like everybody else. I just can't. Like I don't see it. He's fine. He has a good look. He's okay on the mic. He has a good look. He doesn't like command. He doesn't have that like commanding like presence. Like, and I don't mean that in a way where you got to be like a super tough guy. I just mean like you can be like a total chicken shit guy who has a commanding presence. There's just something about Ziggler. I don't buy into it. I don't see what everybody else sees.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I still think it's like way too over bumping just for the sake of over bumping and not enough convincing offense, which is important because as a heel, you're going to want to work a lot of your, like it doesn't play into, it doesn't play into his character and gimmick and role as a heel to have weak offense and bump like crazy for the other dude. I mean, it just feels like it handicaps him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you heard Booker. Booker was on our show a few weeks ago, Booker T, saying, you know, he in his dealings with Ziggler, how he tells him, you got to be a little more selfish, quit making everyone else look like so good, and then make yourself look a little better. I mean, that's a paraphrase, and I don't want to misquote him or anything, but that was the gist of what he said.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like just because you bump like crazy doesn't make you a good worker. It's just like an aspect of being a worker, you know. Yeah. And I think it hurts a lot of his matches because again, I've said this 100 times, but not every move is supposed to kill you.
Yeah.
It takes away from the match to do that. You bump big at the right time, you know? I just like I don't hate the guy, and I'm not like being a contrarian just to be a contrarian. I just don't see it in him. And
see, I think his offense should focus on like the ribs or the neck because he likes to apply the sleeper hold. So that would, you know, if he's working on the ribs throughout most of the match, that's going to make it harder for them to breathe because it's going to swell up, you know, their chest a little bit. And then if you work on the neck when he does his zigzag finisher, that'll be effective on that. So I don't know. I like his style, but I think he's
got a good look.
Yeah,
he's fine on the mic and he's got a good look.
He's very athletic, you know, but maybe tone down the super bumps.
More than tone down. He needs to like
the
go
target area.
He needs to like about halfway back on the super bumps.
Yeah, because he's not gonna. If he keeps doing that, he's not gonna have a career past 3 or 4 years.
Well, that's true, and I'm not even speaking out of concern for him, although I acknowledge that that's hell in the body.
Yeah. And
I can appreciate the effort, but it doesn't make a good match and it doesn't make a good worker. And I think he's missing a lot of stuff. I don't know.
Okay. All right. But he does end up getting the victory over Chris Jericho, which takes us into our next matchup, which was Tensai going up against Cody Rhodes. Tensai actually gets the victory on this one, which I was glad to see, you know. And
another guy I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go right on.
Another guy I just don't see what people see in is Cody Rhodes. Like, I don't get it either. I mean, like, what am I missing? Like, Cody has never really impressed me. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I fucking love Dusty Rhodes, but you don't get a pass from me just because you're his son, you know? Like, I don't get why are people crazy about him? I liked a lot of his character work when he was doing the masks thing,
dashing and all that.
but it was his character work that I liked. I didn't like. I don't think I've ever been high on him in the ring, and I just don't get it. I mean,
I think it'd probably be his look. You know, he's got a good look.
he's got a generic look though.
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but I don't know. It's just something about
He
him.
stands out with the mustache.
That's the mustache thing is just nothing but a distraction.
It is. It is.
You know, it's. But like whenever he had his dashing character, and then they changed it up with when he had to wear the protective mask. I was really digging it, but I don't know. Like,
but were you digging like the character work, the gimmick, or did you like his ring work?
I like his character work more than I like his ring work. I like Cody Rhodes. I'm a fan of his, but I don't see him being one of those top contenders for the title.
I don't see him as a top guy either, but that's not even what I'm saying. I am big fans of mid-Carter for life guys. Like Regal was never a main eventer.
Yeah.
But I mean like Regal's fucking awesome, right? I love Regal. But Regal's really fucking good. I mean listeners out there, if you can present me, don't just say, "Oh, you're stupid. Cody's awesome." Like, give me what do you guys see in him? Those of you who like them, let me know. Maybe I should approach it from a different angle. I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think the character is, well, maybe not so much now, but like the dashing in the mask and all that stuff, like y'all said. But I don't see too much in the ring. You know, that stands out to me though.
Mm-hmm. Although, like the thing that I think most wrestling fans are tired of now is that, you know, they're calling it like the WWE formula, where they're like, okay, you're gonna have your set moves, and then you're just gonna go from there. Like you have your finisher, your signature, and then a couple of moves that are only gonna be yours. It's like they don't go out and just wrestle anymore. It's like, okay, we have to wrestle in my style. Like John Cena has his moves, Randy Orton has his moves, Sheamus has his moves that they all have to do while they're inside the ring. You know, like mix it up a little bit. That's what I would like.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys can't do it.
Yeah, and
I mean, I'm not okay. Look, let me amend that.
Okay,
guys like Cesaro, guys like Bryan, those kind of guys, they can do that.
Yeah.
Because they have the experience to do that. But guys like that come up exclusively through the WWE system only know that style. They're taught that style, and that's all they know. I mean, they can't deviate from the formula because they don't know it. They don't have the experience. They're not outside of the box. And even the guys who they get from other places, they say, "You don't know how to work," or, you know, like, "We're going to teach you how to work." Kid. You know, like, they teach. And the guys who are really successful, guys like Cesaro and guys like Bryan, find a way to fit the appealing parts of them into the formula. Like, they fuse their own style with the WWE style, and they find a medium that works.
Yeah.
And Bryan has done really well at that. Cesaro has done really well at that. But those are guys who have years of experience wrestling all over the place and can work a variety of styles in a variety of ways. Like a guy like Cody Rhodes, who came up through WWE, you know, like he doesn't have like that kind of background, you know?
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest problem that I have with it, because, like, you know, you feel like, okay, I'm sitting here and I'm watching this match. I've seen this so many times. You know, that's why I think feuds these days don't last as long, is because they're working the exact same style of match
over and
every single time, but just they do something on the outside. They throw each other into the barricade or onto the table or something. You know, they don't mix it up as much as not saying as they used to, because I mean, I'm sure that they had the similar stylings back then, but they also had a lot more variety of wrestlers. You know, whereas now it's like, okay, we have our top guys who are going to work both Raw and SmackDown. We have a couple guys who are going to be only on Raw, only on SmackDown, only on Superstars, only on Slam. You know, but there's
define like used to or in the past. Like you're talking way back, or semi-recent history. I mean, like back in the day when Vince bought up all those dudes came from different territories. They travel around, they work different styles in different places, and they like learn the fucking craft, the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
So they can just go out there and have a match. Like it's no sweat, but like I don't even know what I'm trying to say. And I do want to say that I'm not just like I'm definitely not the guy who just pimps Bryan and Cesaro because they were indie darlings. They were just like they were like the cream of the crop guys from the independents. I'm not just saying that any guy that you can pull off any indie show can do this. You know, I'm saying these guys have done this shit for years and they know what they're doing. They're the cream.
Right.
I'm not the guy who's like, oh, indie guys, blah blah blah. I mean, like, I'm serious. There are people like that, but I mean, it's just those guys know what they're doing.
But it's like, I don't know. I get kind of tired of seeing the same stuff from the same people every single week. You know, it's like you watch it continuously like we do. We've watched it every single week, and you can go through and you can say, okay, in this match, Randy Orton is going to do the scoop slam, do the DDT from the second rope. He's going to spin and do all this.
Hey, good
and then
impression.
you can say, okay,
Thank you.
and then you can go and say, okay, and now in the next match, Sheamus is going to come up, and he's going to do the thing where he ties him up in the ropes. He's going to bang on the chest. I just feel like, you know, since your show is being televised, like that formula is great if you're going on house shows, and then every once in a while you have a televised event, you know. But like we're seeing the same thing every week for weeks on end, and it's just, I don't know, it gets kind of tiring after a while. We're like, you know, you can sit there and you watch it and you can just like, okay, well, this guy's gonna win, and you know, it feels, I don't want to say predictable because, you know, you never fully know the outcome, but I mean, like, you know, you have an idea of what's going to happen in the match without even having to see it.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying. I do think they have a house style, and they won't allow people to deviate from it.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say that. They won't let most guys deviate from it. I mean, I agree with that, but like, I feel like maybe you're feeling maybe jaded, and maybe you're overblowing. I mean, like every guy anywhere has like signature moves and spots.
Yeah.
Some guys even have signature bumps. Like Bryan does just about every match he has the missed a drop kick off the turnbuckle bump.
And
just
then
like Flair had the Flair flop, and like some guys have other signature bumps.
Yeah.
Like every guy has stuff he does in every match.
Yeah. But, you know, when you see it 52 weeks out of the year, or give or
are you
take.
just saying it because there's like every superstar that does it, or you're just tired because you see it from the superstars that make you tired of seeing it? Like
No, like, you know, I'm a big Daniel Bryan fan, but it's one of those things where, like, you know, do something other than the kicks when he's on his knees. Like, you know, he's supposed to be the master of submissions or whatever, the submission specialist, when he only does one submission. Like, let him branch out a little bit. Let him use a few different moves or something. Like, you know, let me see something I haven't seen.
Well, in defense of that,
You know.
like he's saddled in a tag team with Kane.
Well, yeah.
So you got two guys who got to get signature spots in. So that pretty much means they only have time for each guy to get their signature spots in on a TV show. Most of Bryan's pay-per-view matches have been stellar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the idea, though. Like, you familiarize the people TV, and then you want them to buy the pay-per-view, and then you go have the awesome match on pay-per-view. It's kind of like in theory, the design of the thing.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
but it just feels like the only thing that changes is the winner of the match. It's not like, oh, did you see this this great chain wrestling that they did? Oh, did you see this great, brawl that they had and stuff? Like the only really thing that they change up are the stipulations in the match, a no holds barred, steel cage match, stuff like that. That's the only real difference that you see in matches these days. Oh, they get to use a chair. Oh, they threw him through a table. But other than that, you see just the same copy and paste style of matches, and I don't know.
I don't disagree with you, but I don't know that I agree to the level.
Yeah, and that's fine. I don't know. Maybe if I'm just getting tired of just seeing the same stuff.
A little burnout.
I think I might be a little bit, but
Hey man, I mean, like,
and it happens.
Yeah.
It happens to everyone. So, maybe it's just a little bit of a repetitive thing. That's why I really like the Ryback and Mark Henry feud, because that was something we hadn't seen before. That was, we only get to see a glimpse of what they can do, and then they went out and did what they did at WrestleMania. So I don't know, just weird. Maybe I'm getting burnt out. I don't know.
I think you are getting burnt out.
So moving on.
Switch it out. Watch something new.
Yeah. So we got to see Tensai.
You watch some Shikara, son.
Yeah, I need to try and watch other stuff and
branch out.
Yeah, so that way we can talk about more on here.
Shikara's on point right now.
Are they?
Yeah.
Good stuff. We'll have to get into that.
This is a dumb question. You can only get their stuff through DVD and they watch it on the internet.
Oh well, they've got. You can DVD or you can
iPad
downloads. Yeah.
Okay. So there you go. So we got to see Tensai defeat Cody Rhodes, which was good. Next up, we got to see a backstage promo with Ryback, basically saying that the fans don't understand him. He knocked John Cena, and he'd see Mick Foley in the ring later on the night. So I guess just moving on from there. Next up, we got to see Big E Langston, and I like this one because Big E, comes out now. He has his own theme music. He comes out by himself.
On him.
Yeah, and they also kind of focused a little bit, just a tidbit during a scene backstage between Ziggler and
they were about
AJ.
to make out or something, and he was just kind of like staring at them.
Yeah.
Well, he was just kind of standing around bodyguards.
Yeah, he's being his bodyguard self, and Ziggler is like, "Hey, man, this is AJ and Dolph time, so basically hit the bricks." So Big E didn't seem too thrilled by that and walked off.
Well, I wouldn't even say that he didn't seem too thrilled. He just seemed kind of like indifferent. He just had like the look on his face. He just kind of turned and walked the other way.
Whatever.
Whatevs. Y'all pay me.
There's something I like about Big E that I just can't put my finger on yet. I think he's got some unrealized potential.
People say he's really good on NXT.
Well, I'm not up on NXT, and I haven't seen a lot of his stuff, but he's supposedly an excellent babyface, which is I don't know, maybe something they want to look into. I don't know.
Yeah, and I would like to see more from him. So that that's something that kind of gets me.
The last NXT I saw was the Regal Cassius Ohno match, and I just watched that match. I didn't even watch the whole show. I was just like, oh, that's on. Of course, I've got to watch that. And it was a goddamn good match.
Yeah,
go out of your way to see it.
So we got to see Big E Langston going up against Zack Ryder, and if y'all didn't catch it over the weekend or over the week, Zack Ryder posted a video, with the question of is Zack Ryder or Z True Long Island Story coming back or whatever, and it starts off like it normally does, and he's got all of his merchandise on, and he basically just stops, takes it all off, and says, "I can't do this," and then it cuts off. So it kind of makes you wonder if he's going to try and switch up his gimmick or something, or if he's possibly out the door. But he came to the ring without all the merchandise.
Nah, he's not out the door.
Yeah.
Didn't spike his hair.
He didn't spike his hair. He didn't take care. So he went up against Big E Langston, and
he's not out the door, man. He's probably just going to do the disgruntled heel turn.
Yeah. Now it's my turn. I've cared about all of y'all, all my broskies. You are just as bad as the Hoskies.
That was a horrible video.
Oh, you actually watched it?
And yeah.
Oh, did you download the song?
No.
Did you illegally download the song?
No.
How many times have you heard it?
Once.
Oh, okay. Once is enough? Okay. Doug, did you hear this?
I've heard the song. I didn't see the video.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen either, or haven't seen or heard it. So, but yeah, so Big E, got to be dominant on there, showing the fans what he's got. Zack Ryder gets a little bit of offense, but couldn't get anything going. And just, Big E just completely dominating. Like there was one part where Ryder tried to run into him or something and just bounced off of him, and I dug that.
It's a big man.
Yeah, that is a lot of man to run into.
A lot of man to run into.
I mean, there's like a lot. Mark Henry, a lot of man, and then there's like Big E, a lot of man. They're two very different kinds of a lot of man, but still a lot of man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep saying a lot of man.
That's a whole lot of man. So, but he picks up Zack Ryder and delivers the big ending.
These fucking thighs are like
No joke.
tree trunks, man.
And I like it's the cliche saying that the announcers do. Oh, you can count to 50. Oh, you can count to 100. Big E held it. He was just sitting there for probably a good 10 to 15 seconds before he finally let go after the ref counted to 3. So I was sitting there going, he's proving the point. You could count to 50. So I was impressed with the showing that they let Big E Langston have. Curious to see where they let him go from here.
Coming around on the finisher? Are you still...
For that one, yeah. It looked pretty devastating, and Ryder did a good job of selling it. Like as soon as he hit, he bounced over, and, So it looked a little more devastating this time. Didn't work as much for Kane for me, but with a guy who's not that size,
He's probably... For one, he's probably taller than Big E, I'd imagine.
Yeah. So... I think for those guys, it makes it a lot more impactful looking.
When he hits it on like Brian, it looks like you could break him in half.
By God, it's broken in half. So yeah, next up we got to see a backstage promo with Kane and Daniel Bryan. Easily the funniest moment of the night. Daniel Bryan asking Kane, "Where's the Undertaker? Can you call him? Like we need to go over our strategy. I have all these diagrams here." Just really funny stuff. Kane's like, he's not the kind of guy who carries around a cell phone, Like, he's the Lord of Darkness. What do you want me to do? Yeah. When he gets here, you'll know.
Promise me you won't try to hug him.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
He could use a hugging. I'm just saying. But,
I like Brian played up the... asking Kane why he's like felt so like anxious or frustrated. He's like, is it because we haven't hugged in a while? Yeah. Kind of playing it up like a lack of like a couple that hasn't had sex in a while or something.
You don't touch me anymore. And I love the part where he's like, it's not the Brothers of Destruction and Daniel Bryan, it's Team Hell No and the Undertaker. Right. He's like, get your priorities in line. Just great stuff. Loved it.
That's awesome.
But then they unfortunately were attacked by the Shield, laid out,
who arrived via helicopter,
which is pretty badass.
It was a little out there though. It was a little
different.
Extravagant, right?
Yeah, they're kind of like, all right, we're here. And then
they're like, what the fuck? Okay, so so what's on the helicopter? They get out.
That was actually legit. That's actually how they arrived.
Oh well, I
mean, what they didn't show.
Well, they hopped in the Range Rover, which like peeled out and sped off.
Get it there right now. But what they didn't tell you is that Fandango and his dancer girl were in the helicopter as well.
Oh,
that was a legit them coming in to go to the show because they were coming from, I want to say Ireland, but
damn.
I could be very wrong on that one.
Oh well, that's kind of cool then.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, they
had a house show that day or that night.
Okay,
or
so it makes
like
sense that they're in their gear and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so they end up cutting a promo later on that night saying we traveled quite a ways to be here tonight. And,
yeah.
But I like that. I really, that was really
it's
stuff.
cool to see him hop out of a helicopter.
Yeah.
But it's a little like extravagant.
in a black
like, what are they
helicopter.
like actually like a militia dudes or something? I mean
Yes.
like, come on.
They have a whole army with them.
That's awesome.
Believe in the Shield.
You can believe in them after them hopping off a helicopter.
Believe in our budget.
I thought it was a little over the top, but I mean I'm not gonna take it away from him.
Yeah. Anywho, they're the new A team or something. Next, they're going to be coming in a tank or something. So,
Now I can get behind a tank.
yeah. Injustice. Injustice is about to get blown away.
I don't know. I take that back. The DX tank stuff is kind of like
poorly timed
Yeah.
pyro on there. And all that. Whatever. They ruined it for everybody. So, because they got to get over. They're going up against Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase. I think that's who they use.
I'm
that
talking about the
up
old
against.
school where they were going to the WCW show.
Oh yeah, that too. Well, that was more like a Jeep with a turret.
Oh,
on
you're
it.
right. You are right about
Yeah.
that.
So, which I heard a interview where they said they should have just let them in, but not allowed the camera crew in, so that they would have gone in and everyone would have changed channels to see what was going on. That would have been a nice ratings changer right there. So, anyways, we got to see the Undertaker make his first presence known, his first match in 3 years, coming out to face
On
the
Raw.
Shield on Raw. Yeah, the first match on Raw in 3 years.
Hey, come on. Somebody would have corrected you if I hadn't.
Yes, they would have. And so the Shield comes down. They start, getting into it, and then Team Hell No come to make the save. And what I absolutely loved about this, Undertaker makes his presence. He walks to the ring or whatever. The fans are chanting Undertaker, Undertaker. The Shield comes down. They get in their fight. Team Hell No comes to the ring. What are they chanting? Yes, yes, yes. So I'm like, man, it could just be that they're excited and they're like, this is the team that's going to do it, or they were excited to see Daniel Bryan. I'm going to go with the latter on that one, just because I think it's pretty cool. So,
fantastic match. This match was so good.
Yeah.
Bryan kicking the shit out of everybody. Bryan coming off the Face and Peril segment, making the hot tag to the Undertaker, which is just like still crazy for me to see. Like
the intensity for the Undertaker when Rollins was taunting him, saying, "Oh, we run this," and Undertaker was just like, "Slit the throat, you're going to die. Let me in this ring."
Yeah, it was awesome. Well, they were working Bryan over for a while. He had a nice little Face and Peril segment. Like Daniel said, Rollins was taunting Taker, who was staring
awesome.
Holes through his soul, and then Bryan gets the hot tag, and Taker. It's just cool to see, like, because you would feel like maybe he would go for Kane. He would tag Kane just because they're partners, so that would make sense. But he gave Taker the hot tag. He came in like a house of fire. Taker looked sharp in this match too. This match was really fucking good. And like, okay, look, like I'm not a guy, like I've said a lot in the past, how I was never a guy who was high on Tyler Black. I never got it. During that whole, like, when they felt like they were building him up for the Ring of Honor title, and then they didn't pull the trigger, and then people like lost their shit, and they said they waited too long, and he was the future, and they waited too long, and the moment passed when they finally gave him the belt. All that time, all those people were high on Tyler Black. I never got it. I didn't see it in him, but he's been like really good as a part of the Shield so far, and like he's a guy who knows like when to bump big. Like not every bump he takes looks like someone hit him in the chest with a shotgun with his arms like flailing around, Yeah. He took the tope from Bryan, who he could have just took it. He could have just caught him and taken him down like a normal tope, but he like thrusted back, like flailed back into the barrier. Like just he knows like when to bump big. Like that's people are like, oh, Ziggler, he bumps so hard. That's why I love him. Well, I was like,
But that's all he does.
yeah, that's all he does.
So it's oversaturated.
Yeah, but like Rollins knows when to take the big bump. And man, I don't know. This match was really good. If you missed this Raw, is definitely like worth going out of your way to find this. So go back and watch this match.
Oh yeah, I want to.
Definitely. It was a good solid match. It's really weird seeing Kane being the lesser of everybody. Like everyone looks strong. Everyone looks strong. I want to emphasize that. But like the reaction that Daniel Bryan got, the reaction that Undertaker got, and then it's like, oh, and there's Kane too.
Yeah, well,
but that's to be expected. But
another thing that I loved is, okay, so the finish was Bryan misses the flying headbutt, and Ambrose rolls him up for the win. Shield over, still strong. And I'm still with that, keeping them strong. What I loved after the match is when like baby faces were like Shield slime off. They're like, aha, we got our victory. We're out of here. Like baby faces are in the ring like deflated. Brian's looking like really disappointed in himself, and I just love Kane giving him the little "It's all right, kid" pat on the head like after the match.
You done good.
Yeah,
You done good, kid.
And it was just
you
like
fought hard.
Yeah,
What did
no, it was
Undertaker
just
do?
like it was like a cute little moment or something. I don't know. It was
Taker
awesome.
kind of just stared at the Shield. Yeah. So one thing that cracked me up was when everything started to break down. They had Undertaker cover Ambrose, but Rollins was the legal man, and Scott Armstrong went to count it anyways. And I even made a mention of it on the Facebook page. I was like, look, you're not going to be the one to tell Undertaker, oh, no, he's not the legal man, so you're making a mistake.
I mean, I would only nitpick something like that if it was the finish.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, other than that, I mean, I think, like, the match was good enough to let that slide. Like,
Yeah.
It's easy to pick on that shit when the match is dreadful, you know?
I'm not even picking on it.
Right.
I turned it into a joke. I'm like, if I were him, if I were the ref, I wouldn't be the one saying, you're pinning the wrong guy.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like,
You're
no,
not gonna tell
you're
the
gonna
Undertaker
pin that.
Brian was crazy over and Taker was crazy over.
It's just amazing to see both of them together.
Yeah, it was just really good stuff.
Kane's just
Shield looked strong. Kane and Daniel Bryan looked strong. Undertaker looked great. And supposedly Taker makes an appearance on SmackDown this week as well. So we have to check that out.
Did you like the match as much as I did, or
I
were you just
did.
listening?
I thought it was a really good match. You know,
They got like 15 minutes.
yeah, and,
2 segments, easy.
And what I liked is, you know, the announcers were basically saying, you know, when it comes to 3-on-3, Shield finds a way to make their numbers count. But in this match, they had their moments where it was looking pretty bad for them, you know, because
Well, they shouldn't look like the dominant team.
yeah,
Especially
it's like they were
against this
getting
team.
picked apart on this one.
They should look like they should. That's how they should go over. They
Well,
eked
skin their
out a
teeth.
victory. You
Yeah.
don't. You're not gonna like bully like Undertaker and Kane.
Yeah.
You know.
So, but it was a really good match. So definitely go back and check that one out if you get the chance. Next up, we got to see Fandango go up against William Regal. Regal get a very nice pop from the crowd. I really wish he'd get like one more run or something for just coming back, even if it's part-time.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I would love to see that, but I don't think it's gonna happen. He's
General
playing.
manager.
He's playing a really prominent role in NXT, like working all those guys who are about to go up.
Yeah.
Like he did it with Ambrose. He's doing it with Cash Sona now. Look, it's always cool to see Regal, and of course he's crazy over in the UK. But this was not the best use of Regal. And I'm not saying that because he lost, because that's his position in the company now. He's like that old surly dude who's going to put like younger guys over, right?
He has the reputation to lose and it still be okay.
Right.
It's not
So
gonna
like
damage him.
it's not that he lost that makes it not the best use for him. It's just like Regal's so fucking good that he could have a really good 4-minute match with somebody.
Yeah.
He could have a really good 4-minute match with a variety of opponents in a variety of styles. He's that fucking good. But you gotta, if you want something awesome, you gotta at least, he can give you something awesome in 4 minutes, but you gotta at least give him 4 minutes. I went back and timed this match. It was a 2-minute match.
Wow.
And like, another reason, like I say it's not because you lost, and I mean that. Like, I mean, we just talked about that, but I don't understand the point of this match. Like, what they were trying to do with this match is why I don't understand. Like,
Unless they're trying to because they know how William Regal's over there or whatever,
Well-
and they're trying to get Fandango. I mean,
see, that's I try to look at this from a few different angles. And for one, pretty much the extent of the match was Fandango did a little dance, Regal did a comedy dance, which Regal's really good at comedy. He's one of the like 4 guys in the Fed that can do comedy. He did a little comedy. It's like duck under, big back body, bring him back over the ropes the hard way, some forearms in the corner, and then Fandango hits his finish, and that's the match. And to your point about, well, like Regal's going to be really over in the UK, like maybe they're just trying to get him over as a heel. Well, I think if that was the purpose, I think it was like grossly miscalculated on their part, because as happy as they were to see Regal, they were just as loud for Fandango. And maybe I know that Daniel thinks. Daniel, I know you're of the opinion that it's the song that's over and not necessarily him.
Yeah, because they were all doing the dancing, the fandangoing or whatever.
And I'm not really going to try and dispute that either way. I haven't decided for myself if that's true. But they were as loud for him, so it didn't really get him over as a heel. They were essentially cheering for him.
Basically, the only reason they want to see Fandango is so they can go do 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 do.
Well,
do 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 do.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't decided. Supposedly that the crowd who started all that shit was largely from UK people anyway.
It's like, but the crowd's weird and they're throwing everything off again.
But okay, if you're trying to get him over as a heel against Regal because you think he's going to be monster over, it was a gross miscalculation on their part. So that wasn't it. It wasn't to have a good match and have him get over on his in-ring skills because they gave him 2 minutes. I don't get the point of this. It was it made no sense to me. This is a total terrible use for Regal. The only thing I can think of is they're trying to get over the new finish as a devastating stopper, but I don't buy it. They're besides, I guess he's not going to be doing the guillotine leg drop anymore. I guess he's switching to that
because he landed on Jericho's head too many times.
Well, yeah, but not even that. But the movie they're giving him now, they've got 4 guys that do a variation of that. It's basically a variation of the mic check, which you already got Ziggler who does a kind of a variation of it. You got Truth who pretty much does it. You've got 4 guys doing a variation of that move.
Really?
I don't get the point of this match. I wasn't happy with it, even though it's cool to see Regal. I just don't understand at all anything about this match.
Yeah. So, well,
maybe they learned their lesson. Never do that.
I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. Have him go up against Santino or something if you're going to do that.
I mean, I don't mind. It's not that Regal lost. It's really not. Yeah. It's just really a questionable use of the
2
guy.
2 minutes,
Regal is a motherfucker who will carry somebody to a good 4-minute match. He will lead anybody through it, but give him 4 minutes. If you're trying to get Fandango over on in-ring skills, then give Regal enough time to drag a good match out of him. I don't get it.
There you go. So Fandango ends up getting the victory over William Regal, which takes us into the main event, which was a 5-diva battle royale. So once again we get to see the divas close out the wrestling aspect of Raw. We got to see AJ, Tamina, let's see who else was there, Oksana, and one of the Funkadactyls. I feel, was that 5? Yeah. So whatever. AJ ends up getting the victory. And she is the number 1 contender for the Divas Championship. The final segment we got to see was Mick Foley basically calling out Ryback so that he can tell him what he had to say in front of his face. Ryback comes out, and I liked the promo from Foley. It's sort of the same stuff that we've seen from him in the past, where he comes out and he wants to talk, and then he gets intense and he's screaming at your face. But Ryback basically took it and screamed right back, was like, hey, you shut up. You know what I'm capable of doing. You don't want me to do it, basically. So what did you think about this part leading up to the Cena coming out?
This stuff just doesn't work for me anymore because there's just not a legitimate reason for Foley to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's some sort of ambassador, or he's some sort of guy who can come in when he wants to air grievances with people he doesn't have anything to do with.
I feel like if it wasn't him, it would have been someone like
Piper.
Yeah, exactly. So someone who...
Don't get me wrong, Piper is a good promo, Foley's a good promo, but you have to have some tie there for it to mean something, right?
Yeah. So... I don't know. I mean, I get where they were going with the Mick Foley. No matter how many times I got knocked down, I got picked back up. No one was there to help me up. I had to do it to myself. Why are you sitting here crying about, oh, you got knocked down a few times that no one was there to pick you up?
Don't get me wrong. Foley is a good enough promo to make sense of the situation.
Yeah.
But why is he a person that needs to go talk to him about it, is what I'm saying. That's where it fails on some level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Did you get to see this part, Tyler? No? Okay. So, it eventually got to the part where Ryback gets in the face of Foley, and Foley gets right back in the face of Ryback, and they're getting ready to throw down, and Cena comes down to make the save. Shield comes down to attack, and it looks like Cena's going to let Ryback get a little dose of his own medicine from what happened the previous week, but then he comes in to chase off the Shield with the steel chair, and then delivers the attitude adjustment to Ryback to close out the show.
Just made Ryback look like a dumbass.
Yeah. So,
I mean, not because Cena got one up on him. He had that coming from, previous weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But Ryback just sat there and watched him beat the Shield off with a chair. That came out so terrible. You know what I mean, guys. That registered
that
like
takes
right
talent.
at.
Here's your justice.
That
Justice has been served.
That registered right after it came out of my mouth, and I was like, "Did I just say he beat them off?"
Yeah.
But he
chair.
just if he dislikes Cena
Believe.
that much, why didn't he just go capitalize on it while Cena was paying attention to the Shield?
yeah.
He just stood there like a dumbass and let him fend off the Shield, and then he just waited to get AA'd. I mean, I don't know. It made him look pretty stupid.
So
Which
strange.
admittedly he probably is, at least character wise, not like
He has to be that meathead. He's like, I'm just going to hit people, and I don't know why.
I stand here until someone gets close enough for me to hit them.
I just want to go to Cracker Barrel.
So that's how we close out Raw.
Everyone went to Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What'd you find at Cracker Barrel? Tell them about that hidden gem, son.
Was it the zebra? What's it called?
Yikes stripes.
Yikes stripes.
Or
Oh,
strike gum.
oh yeah.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
Sounds like a good
Ryback.
time.
Ryback. He wants some of that.
We'll see him at Cracker Barrel.
Yeah. He
So,
can beat him off with a chair.
Being a butt. So so that's how we closed out Raw. It wasn't a bad Raw. It wasn't a great Raw. It was pretty good. Had it highs and lows. But we do have some hot topics for you guys since we were on the topic of Mick Foley. Mick Foley's DVD/Blu-ray was just released not too long ago. It is available now. I did pick it up. It was very well done. I got the DVD version. I couldn't find the Blu-ray. I mean, I'm sure, if I would have waited a day or something, I could have gone to somewhere and picked it up. But I ended up getting the 3-disc DVD, and it came with with your very own Mr. Sacco. Which was pretty cool. But the documentary itself was really well done. It had all kinds of people, friends and, former wrestlers. Like it had Shane Douglas on there, which that was one I wasn't expecting. I had Paul Heyman and JR and all of them talking about it. It was really good. They did not talk pretty much at all about his time at over in Japan. They were just like, oh yeah, I went to Japan for 4 or 5 years.
That was it.
And then I came back to the WWE. And then
Revisionist history, man.
yeah. And then it was like, and then, I took a little break for about a year or two, referencing to when he went over to TNA.
TNA.
And then he was like, and then I came back and everything was really good. It was quite nice. And but other than that, if you're a Mick Foley fan, definitely pick that up. It's a great DVD. The documentary itself is 2 hours long, so it's it documents from the time he was little all the way up until till here recently. It's got a lot of matches on it too, so definitely go and pick that up, and also be on the lookout because next week I believe WWE Best of In Your House to be released. On DVD and Blu-ray. So if you were ever a fan of the In Your House, I'll probably pick it up as well.
Cool. I'll stop by your house and watch it
There you
because I don't really know too much about In Your House.
Yeah. Doug, you gonna pick up the Best of In Your House?
I probably will.
All right, so there you go. There's at least 2 buys for you. Another hot topic news: The Rock has had successful abdomen surgery, so fixing everything that went wrong at Mania. So, hopefully he'll be on the road to recovery on there. And speaking of recovery,
For those who are listening at home who can't see what's going
if
on.
I'm sounding distracted,
For the past 10 minutes, Daniel's been talking and me and Abe have been doing the most ridiculous shit.
It's pretty.
I've been kicking Aber in the head repeatedly.
I've been trying so hard to stay on focus.
I just did my Goldust impression.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. So I might have to just cup my hands around my eyes so I can only see what's going on the screen. But speaking of recovery, DDP posted a video of Scott Hall as far as how his recovery's going. It looks like he's going to be doing pretty well pretty soon. One last hot topic for you guys. Allegedly, Rosa Mendez has been sent home from the European tour for being intoxicated. She's claiming personal reasons. But
that's not what the press release said.
Yeah, a lot of what'd they say?
Press release said personal reasons.
Oh, all right. Well, an insider has reported allegedly.
Name your source.
I don't have it.
I'm just kidding.
But apparently,
it's not impressive, and it supposedly happened last year.
Yeah, we're just saying it. Who cares? So Rosa Mendez
that girl
apparently
be getting drunk.
Hey man, that's a long flight, so
Should we get drunk? Girl.
Maybe was drinking and driving for 13 hours. I mean, it happens to the best. I'm just kidding. That was a bad joke. Don't drink and drive, kids.
Don't do that. That's
unless you're drinking water,
or if you have a tampon nearby.
Don't even drink and drive with water for 13 hours. You're gonna have to pee a lot.
Yes.
Get a tampon.
A tampon.
I don't understand.
Oh, you don't drink, but you're getting drunk.
Still, don't be intoxicated while you're driving.
There you go. Final one for us. Fandango has his own shirt now. It's got the Fandango pose, and on the back it has the sheet music. So now you can play his.
And this
theme
shirt
music,
has
apparently
been approved by Doug.
Oh, it's a good design.
Yeah,
it doesn't have a stupid saying on it that he doesn't say.
And it's simple.
Yeah.
So there you go. So now it's time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question coming to us from Thomas. Drop it low, son.
Drop it low, son.
Saying, and his question is, so Tyler, I know you like comic books, and if you did a pay-per-view card, nah, I kid. Doug, it's fine. When it comes to Lego games, I'm in a similar situation. I too obsess over the studs and mini kits, and since I have OCD, playing the Lego games are just one big blurry rage. But my question does relate to games. I cite myself as a gamer, and I want to know, what is your favorite video game of all time?
First of all, it's nice to hear someone else out there has OCD. Because
in a blurry rage, apparently.
Yeah,
I want to get that checked out.
Seriously affects my life for the worst in a lot of ways. So I can definitely relate, listen. I kind of made fun of it, but I seriously have it. But I'm probably going to go with The Legend of Zelda. As a child, I remember as a child just folding that fucking map out that they had in the first couple of dungeons and just being like so enthralled in the world, bombing every fucking rock in sight, trying to find a secret entrance. I spent so much time as a kid playing that game. Yeah, I'm going Legend of Zelda. I mean, I can still remember the fucking map and everything. Yeah, cool game. Very nice. I'm sinking a lot of hours into Lego City Undercover right now, and I would recommend it if you have a Wii U. I mean, that's not my favorite game of all time, but it's a pretty fun little game, and you should probably check it out if you can. Okay. And I was never a guy who was like a into Legos before. Like I never saw the appeal of like actually owning like Legos and stuff. But now, since I've been playing this game, I'm buying all those fucking minifigs, like the blind packs where you can't even see what you're getting. I don't want them all. There's only certain ones I want, but like now I'm obsessed with it. I went to the store and bought like 10 of them hoes the other day, and I didn't even know which fucking ones I had. So
I got like the Luchador Legos.
I don't have that one. But yeah, now I'm obsessed with buying the minifigs because of that game. I'm sorry, that has nothing to do with video games.
How about you, Tyler?
You go ahead.
Why me? Because you're thinking? You don't know?
I'm thinking.
Okay, obviously, probably one of the greatest video games of all time, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Just, you can't beat it. I'm sorry.
I'm going OG. I think original's better. And I actually haven't played that one.
Oh, that one's amazing. It's a great game. Definitely play it if you get the chance. If you haven't, you need to. I don't know. Lately, in the last 4 or 5 years, favorite games, Guitar Hero, kind of phased out of that one. Then I got into Halo.
They're taking all that Guitar Hero stuff down now.
They already have.
It anymore.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, they did that
A long time ago, huh?
like a year and a half ago, something like that.
I just heard something
Or
about
they
it.
announced they weren't going to make anymore. And
Yeah,
then,
I think they're taking all this stuff down.
oh, that's
Like,
fine. I haven't played it in such a long time.
What about DJ Hero?
As soon as I beat the first one, that was pretty much it.
You've got DJ here too. What are you talking
I
about?
gave it to him.
He gave it to me.
Oh,
But you know, started getting into Halo 3, and I've been playing the Halo games since then. Assassin's Creed, you can't really beat that. The storyline's pretty awesome, and the graphics and gameplay is pretty badass too.
I played so many fucking hours of Halo multiplayer, just fucking getting drunk and playing like linked up Xboxes, 4 guys on an Xbox for days at a time.
I actually called in, and this is whenever I worked in Target. I worked at retail for about 3 or 4 years. But one weekend I actually called in to work just so I could play Griffball Weekend.
Nice.
Like whenever they had it on Halo 3, they'd have, oh, it's Griffball Weekend. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not leaving my house. So
See, I didn't really follow the series, but I played a lot of
that
Halo.
was as bad as it got for me.
Yeah.
We had we had like four Xboxes like and 4 fucking TVs at the house, like that bad. Like,
And I loved creating maps.
Oh, yeah,
That's
he
my
does
thing.
it. That's
I would
his
create
thing,
obstacle
yeah.
courses for all my friends. They get pissed off at me.
He's
too.
good at it. He's good.
It was fun creating obstacle courses. Jump in.
I mean, I gotta agree with Daniel. Like, my opinions changed throughout, the time and stuff, and I have I have different
told
ones though. Okay. But I want to go back to the Zelda, as we've been saying, and I want to tell you what my favorite is, because it's different from y'all's.
Yeah, you never said your favorite game.
For Zelda, it is Link to the Past.
Okay.
I played that.
That's
yeah.
my favorite for Zelda. But like I said, my things, I don't have like a favorite game, because you think you have one favorite game this all the time, but no, something else. Like, I grew up with like doing Vice City. I thought Vice City was the best at that time and all that stuff. But now, like, I think each year WWE whatever comes out, that's the best game. No, but like, I like the Metal Gear stuff. I like there's just a lot of stuff.
Skyrim.
It's just there's just a lot of stuff. So.
Speaking of like wrestling games, I spent so many fucking hours playing all the Nintendo 64 wrestling games, WCW, NWO, World Tour Revenge,
Mayhem.
Yeah,
I still have that on Nintendo 64. I have that at my house.
WrestleMania 2000, No Mercy, all those fucking. I never got into all the mods they did of that shit with like where they had like the TNA and ROH guys on it. I haven't played any of those mods, but fucking just like I played so many fucking hours of those N64 wrestling games.
I've still got my Nintendo 64.
Hell
I
yeah.
still have a lot of games from there. WCW Mayhem is one of them. So we need to have a game night or something.
Hell yeah. I found out that they're coming out. It's going to be for 3DS, but they are actually making Legend of Zelda Link to the Past 2.
I saw it when they doing like a 4 seasons or something like that. I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know. Because like, you know how they did have a 2-part game or whatever? Like one was like seasons and then the other one was something like that.
But I think that was something different.
That could, I don't know.
But they officially announced it. So I don't know what's going to be about, but it's Link to the Past 2. So.
Hey, bro, you copping Injustice?
No, I didn't get to.
I've been hearing a lot of good things about it though.
Yeah,
I heard someone who.
If you like the
people say-
Mortal Kombat game that just
It's
came
just
out not too long ago.
DC's superheroes fight with Mortal Kombat style. That's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
I heard bad stuff about it though.
You heard bad stuff?
Because I watched I watched some of the walkthrough and stuff, and it looks pretty badass.
Well, it's more like arena style, huh?
What do you mean?
It involves the environment a lot, right?
Yeah, it does involve the environment a lot. Like Shazam, like it was weird though when I was watching. Sorry, I was watching the Shazam videos or whatever. Like randomly, wherever he fights, there's like a car in the background. He grabs it, so there's always a car for him to grab to throw at people.
Or neon signs, or fire hydrants and stuff.
You didn't get it? I thought. Didn't you say? Didn't you pre-order and get
wanted
that
to.
statue?
I think Noah did.
Oh, it was Noah. That bastard. That's probably why he couldn't afford
So
to do
not
something
cool.
weird. Dude. Can't, guys. I got to pre-order Injustice to get that.
Oh man, gotta get ready to go to Dallas.
But that was my answer. I don't have like a of
we have a
all
lot
time
of favorite games.
favorite
growing
games.
Up.
I mean, if it was back when I was
F-Zero.
young, I'd be like, Link to the Past. That's my favorite game.
Shit, I play a lot of Tony Hawk on the 64.
Yes.
Like they had a cool soundtrack and all, but like I could just like put like the fucking I would just turn the stereo on and play just like free skate on Tony Hawk for like hours and hours and hours.
What's really cool about the PlayStation version of that game? You can put it in a CD player and listen to the music.
Oh, nice.
Really?
Yeah. That's one of those small little things. I had the PC version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. I had I think I still have it, the Nintendo 64 version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. And I still remember one of the codes to get a 10 times multiplier on it. Down right, up, left, C left. And that gets you 10 time multiplier on your
Sounds
score.
legit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, man.
But that's for the Nintendo 64. I should specify
Just
that
mention just a few more. I grew up on Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. Those.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there you go. It's basically Legend of Zelda. is the top.
Final Fantasy Tactics.
You play Final Fantasy?
I played some of the Final Fantasies. Final Fantasy Tactics was really fucking cool. I love that game.
Super Smash Brothers took up a lot of my time.
I'm not a big fan of Super Smash Bros.
Oh, I was all into it.
I can't get into. I have this weird thing about characters who I don't believe belong in fighting games. Like when they put like
Jigglypuff
or something, I'm just like, fuck that. I don't want to.
Link versus Pikachu.
It's just like in what was the PlayStation version? of
PlayStation All Stars.
Yeah, like I was like, oh, that's cool. But why is Sackboy there? I don't want to play with Sackboy.
That game is like more understandable, I think, than. Because that has more serious characters fighting each other than they have. Like
so there's like stark contrast there, you know.
Yeah.
They're more serious, like Sackboy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Thanks for the question. Final question coming to us. We probably should have done this one first.
Another thing that pisses me off is when they have like DLC guys for fighting games that like have no reason to be there.
Why can't they just be unlockable characters? Why do they have to be DLC? Like I know they're being money hungry pigs, but why can't they just
because they're a business?
Just like they had Freddy Krueger in the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't.
Or Yoda or Darth Vader.
No, I'm fine with Yoda and Darth Vader. Like those dudes. I think that goes. Like I'm fine with that. But like Freddy Krueger, it doesn't work for me.
Well, there you go.
I'm not a big horror movie guy anyway.
Yeah, I don't watch them. So, final question coming to us from Jamie saying, "What do you?"
Oh fuck! One more.
Okay.
Punch Out, like pretty much every iteration of Punch Out ever is fucking awesome. Up to the one that was on Wii, it was fucking awesome. Love Punch Out.
Listen to Tyler acting like he knows what we're talking about. When we made a video.
I know.
Doing the King Hippo with
I'm just
Noah.
punching. I'm just punching. Can I just punch?
But you don't understand the
I never
history
really
of the
played
game.
it. I don't care. I just want to punch. I want to punch you out.
So sad.
Last question.
Last question comes to us from Jamie.
Oh wait, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
What are your thoughts on how Cesaro has been treated throughout his WWE career?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't understand the question.
How do you think he's been treated? Would you say his run so far has been a success or mediocre, less than good?
I don't think that's what he's saying.
I don't know what he's saying.
Well, I mean, like he's employed. I'm sure he's getting paid. So I would assume that he's being treated.
Has he been treated pretty good? I mean, he's got a shirt now.
Adequate.
He got to make out with Oksana for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, if you mean like, if he means
talk,
like,
Arden.
has it been like an awesome run? I think it's been a solid run.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Come to double E.
they're not just gonna like look what they did with Brian. After he came back, he just toiled for like almost a year, just like in the mid card, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna hype a guy and then they're gonna pull back.
Give him time. Give him time to find it, and then he'll be off and running.
Word up, son.
Word to your mother. So thanks for the question. To submit your question, head on over to our Facebook page, WNS Podcast, our YouTube page, WNS Video. Check us out on Facebook, Wrestling News Source Podcast, and Wrestling News Source Podcast. WrestlingNewsSource.com.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. See, all this talk about video games throwing me off.
You don't know the plug.
Wrestling News Source Podcast on iTunes.
5-star review.
Yeah, subscribe to our
Hey,
show.
give us a review, guys. We didn't have any this week.
Yeah,
Peace.
we like talking about these things.
Yeah.
It's good stuff,
And
especially if you enjoyed the show.
yeah. We're on Twitter at WNS Podcast for the main site, WN Source.
At the Twitter.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
We're on Tout too, but we don't use it at
We don't.
WNS Podcast. But we have a few random videos you can go look at.
Good stuff. Stuff on our YouTube page as well.
Come on, dude. I got a lot of shit to unlock, and Lego City and Cover. Let's wrap this bitch up.
All right. So
Wrap it up, B. Wrap it up.
As your what was it? Off with the shield. What did you say earlier about off with the shield, jacking off?
Oh,
with the
he's
shield?
gonna beat the
Beat
shield
him off with the shield.
with a
Beat him
chair.
off.
Just make sure you
With a
wrap it
chair.
up, son.
He's gonna
Wrap
beat
it
him
up.
off with a chair.
Just wrap it up. So for the
I'm gonna
podcast,
beat you off of the chair.
I am Daniel Heron.
I'm Tyler Aber
I beat people off.
with a chair.
We'll catch you all next week.
If I don't beat you off first.